I am now convinced that fire ants are the most amazing creatures on Earth, and they must die.
Let's talk about that.
This is Greg and Ian from Detroit, Michigan, running the turkey trot. Good mythical morning.
Good mythical morning.
This episode is brought to you by Catulas, the guys with the goods.
Goods like the electric lantern lamp. Is it a lamp? Is it a lantern? Well, it's sort of both. If you're into that kind of thing, which I am. I'm gonna go camping with this, but I need a generator.
No, it's for rustic office environments or lodges or things like that. If that fits your decor, go for it.
Oh, no.
Good mythical morning. Thanks for.
No. I'll call you back.
So what, have you had you've had a fake person on hold? Boy, that was great. I'm glad it was.
I kept my head turned this way just for that joke.
Yep, and there was
So I could be like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
quite a payoff to that one.
I'm gonna start doing that every episode.
I cannot say that I've been doing boop, 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 research, but I have been watching movies, and one of which was about fire ants, and that's what I want to talk about today. I think there's opportunity for us to learn things, for us to be in awe of nature, and there may even be an application for us creatively.
Well, interestingly
by the end
enough,
of this whole thing.
Interestingly enough, this past weekend, as I was flipping through the Netflix, I saw this documentary you're talking about. It said Fire Ants. I was I should watch that.
It's called Fire Ants. No more, no less.
But now I don't have to watch it because just sitting here with you talking about it is like watching it.
Well, if you want to watch it, link will be in the description. Sounded weird.
Yeah, especially because you didn't say a link or
a
the
link.
link.
But it will be in the description if you want to watch it. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I wanted to watch something with Lincoln because Lily had a friend over and they were watching like Barbie movies in the other room. And I was like, oh, we can do some man bonding over like some...
Barbie movies?
Yeah,
Barbie has a movie?
They have, like whole series of movies.
And you let your daughter watch that?
Well, yeah.
You reinforce that kind of, the way that they portray women? And
she's a great actress. And
body image and that kind of thing?
She can be like a mermaid or... She can be, but yeah, they're all, in terms of body image, she's pretty much always Barbie. Let's not go there.
That's another episode?
That's another episode. My point is, I had to click on the fire ants. Now, because I have a personal connection to fire ants. Now, if you don't know what fire ants are, you didn't grow up in the South, or you didn't grow up in South America or Africa. You grew up somewhere that has a colder climate. But if you're walking around barefooted in your yard in the summertime and you're in one of these warm places, like where we're from, all of a sudden you'll come upon a place in your grass that wasn't there yesterday, and all of a sudden it looks like freshly tilled earth, like a
bulge,
like a mound. Mm-hmm. Like, could this be a groundhog under there or some sort of under earth creature? No, it is a fire ant mound. And if you disturb that thing, Rhett, tell them what happens.
Well, I don't disturb them as a policy, but if you step upon this, all the little fire ants will come out and they will attack you.
If you poke it with a stick, same thing.
If you disturb it, they have this reaction. They're like, kill the human, and they come up and they bite and they claw and they sting. And this has happened to many people in the South. One of my mom's earliest memories is falling off a swing into a fire ant hill and nearly dying.
Yeah, these things...
She didn't nearly die, but you could nearly die.
No, there are a few reported cases of fire ants killing people because, they're called fire ants because they bite you. There is venom in their fangules, I don't think they're called. And it's just dangerous. My papa stepped in one, and they engulfed his whole left leg and bit him all over the place, and he swole up like a hippopotamus. It was like he was dragging a hippopotamus, but it was his leg. It was crazy. So I wanted to educate Lincoln about this. He's already in fear of them, but at least he could have knowledge, which maybe defer the fear. A couple of things that I learned right off the bat is these things, they came from Argentina to North America. They are not native species, and they just take over here.
They're invasive.
They take over, and they don't just go underground. They fly. The queen flies to a different place. Yeah, they do. I saw it. I saw the wings and everything. But these fire ants do amazing things. At one point they said, okay, they showed water rising, and they said, okay, if there's a flood, the fire ants have to leave their mound and escape so that they don't drown, and they have to search for higher ground. If they don't find higher ground, these fire ants glom together and form a raft made out of nothing but themselves.
And there's footage of this?
There is footage of this. It's just a glob of fire ants floating on top of water. And it's not a ball. They make a certain level of thickness of a raft. And then there's ones on the bottom swimming, and then they put all the babies and the larvae and the queen on top, and they're crawling around on top, and they just go around and go around. They could go around for weeks.
Oh, but what about the dudes on the bottom? Are they dying?
No, they're not dying. They're moving around. And
it's like a rotation. It's like volleyball?
They didn't really...
I got another 15 seconds, George, and tap out, and the other one comes down. These are some smart animals.
They're keeping their head. They are so smart. But the fact is, they're not smart. They just all know their roles. They're like bees.
They're collectively smart.
They're collectively smart.
Like me and you.
Like bees have their roles and stuff like that.
Alone, we're very stupid, but together, we're almost as smart as a smart person.
If we grab onto each other with every appendage, which let's not do that.
And swim.
We would float.
You get the bottom.
If we were ants. And it's amazing. And
me and the babies are on top.
They did these experiments where they would take one ant away at a time, and the ants would immediately redistribute themselves to stay the proper amount of buoyant. And then the scientists would take the raft and they would push down on the middle, and it would just go down in the middle, and it was as if it was reacting like Kevlar or some sort of fabric that would just go, and if you push it too far, the whole thing will go underwater, and the raft will submerge, around on itself, become a ball, trap air in the middle of it, and enough air that they will not drown. It'll boom. They will not drown.
You drowned? It's drown.
Drown. That's what I said. It will not drown. So these, and then if you let it go, the bubble comes out, and then it goes back up to the top. How amazing is that? For weeks they could do that.
This is all special effects.
And then they finally find land, and then they start crawling off, and they take the babies off, and they make a new nest for a little bit of time. These things cannot be eradicated.
Yeah, I mean,
until scientists say, they did all these things. They came over in like the 30s, and then in the 70s they did all this.
Just put cornflakes out there.
They did all that. Yeah,
they put some frosted mini wheats out there.
They say
in the
rice.
South, there's all kinds of put some frosted mini wheats out there, and you'll kill them all.
Have you heard that actually? Because I've heard rice.
You got some corn pops? Throw some corn pops on there. It'll take about 48 hours, and you kill every one of them. Or rice.
That doesn't work, I don't think. Lewis, my mom's husband, he says the only way to kill them is to put fire on them, is to burn them out.
That's why they call them fire ants.
Yeah, he doesn't talk like either one of us just did, but he'll take a blowtorch out. You see him in his front yard, not with a weed whacker or is he doing lawn work? No, he's got a full blowtorch.
He's a welder.
Burning these things out. But
that probably kills him.
That kills him. But science, I think a lot of them go so deep that I'm sure that doesn't kill them.
Of course, they could be underground, forming some fake water fountain thing that's repelling the fire because they're so smart.
Yes.
You don't know what's going on under there.
Well, they did. I'm not going to deny that could happen. But scientists have found the silver bullet. The reason why these things don't go nuts in Argentina or in South Africa or places like that is because there is a fly, a phorid fly. There's many different species that only attack fire ants.
The forehead fly?
Phorid, Phorid. But let's just call it the forehead fly, Forehead.
I'm protected.
So you can remember it. Listen to how these things eradicate fire ants. First of all, they're like 1/8 the size of an ant, and they're going around, and they don't look for the little worker ants. They look for the female ants.
Yeah.
And they wait for the female ant to come out, and then boom, they hit that thing. Boom, they hit that thing. Boom, they hit that thing.
What?
They sting it. I'm just saying they sting it. But they lay an egg in it. So you know what I'm saying.
Hold on.
They lay an egg, a phorid fly egg, in a living ant.
In the female.
In the female.
This is a female phorid fly laying an egg?
Yes. And it does not kill the ant. The ant lives on, goes about its business until one day.
This is so nasty.
Till one day, the phorid egg decides to hatch. It goes up into the head of the ant, hatches, decapitates the ant. That means take the head off the ant. And then the first meal of this phorid fly larva is to eat the brains and inner workings of the head of the firefly. Don't be grossed out. Be like, yeah,
that's right.
They attacked your mom when she was a kid, man. You should be like, yeah, phorid flies.
Yeah, you're right.
Give me some of that. Eating the inside brains of a fire ants.
And so then once the
You're not going to be making any more rafts. I'm going to eat your brains. They're like the zombie.
And then the
fire
queen,
ant zombies.
The queen dies, and then the colony dies. The colony doesn't know what to do without a queen.
Yeah.
It's like the British.
And what you can do is there's certain places in South Texas where it's too hot for the forward flies to live. You can if you live in South Texas, which you don't, but let's just say you did.
I've been through there.
Take your fire ants in a box. Take them up to North Texas. Let the forward flies, because they're up there now, where they're helping to eradicate fire ants. Let them impregnate the bodies of the fire ants. Then bring your fire ants back down, and it'll kill them.
Is there footage of this impregnation process?
It's just like, bam, it's just like what I said. It's just that quick. It doesn't take long. It's amazing. And they must die.
What can you and I learn from this?
Well, I was hoping you would have that application by the end of this thing.
Well, I just think we should hold hands wherever we go.
And float.
And we should hold hands wherever we go and be prepared for anything.
I won't even think about that. No thanks. They know how to pull with just the right amount of pressure so that they don't pull each other's limbs off. They will let go before they break each other's limbs. If
I can do that.
No, but if you let go, I would know when to let go. Like, let go. You're not about to break.
Link turns into a cow.
Oh, something's happening.
This makes a lot of sense.
Oh. What? Hold on, Rhett. Something's wrong. I think I'm turning into a cow.
I'd love to just decapitate you and eat your brains right now, but I'm not a tsetse fly.
Help me, forward fly.
And you're not a fire ant.